Hi, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Cyrus, and this is Tuntum Network in Accra, Ghana. Be sure to subscribe and click on the bell for more of my videos. I have a short video of a Minister of State in Ghana to share with you. I want to leave it to you to consider his statement and compare it with my suggestion, ladies and gentlemen. He is speaking on issues with road contractors and contracts in Ghana, and he's putting out strong statement on what to expect under his leadership as the minister in charge of roads and highways in Ghana. His name, by the way, is Honorable Kwame Govin Abuja. He was appointed by the President of Ghana in January of this year. He also doubles as a member of parliament for the Adaklu constituency. Ladies and gentlemen, check out his statement and let's break it down quickly.
Let me sound this warning. From now, when you are a contractor, you do work, and the work fails without explanation, we shall cash the bond. We shall cash the bond to use to restore the road. If you are a consultant, before you get work at the Ministry of Roads and Highways from now, you will need to buy professional indemnity insurance. Because if you supervise work that fails without any explanation, we will draw down on your insurance cover to make sure we cover the damages that you have caused. So this is a very clear message to contractors and consultants. We are no longer going to tolerate shoddy work under any circumstances. And also the third leg, staff of my agencies who supervise. And indeed, read what the finance minister said and part of our laws. If you are working with highways, feeder road, urban road, and you supervise work or authorize payment for works that were not done or were not done properly, if we find you out, you will be surcharged. I think that is just quite clear. That is the only way we can restore some sanity and decency and also improve the quality of work.
Interesting. What do you think? Be honest. I want to debate you in the comment section if you honestly believe what he said will be anything different from what we have experienced in the past. Ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know, I want to remind you that this is exactly how all former road ministers have spoken in Ghana in the past. In fact, the most immediate past minister for this same office used even stronger words than this, but nothing changed. These politicians actually never change. This is the problem I saw in all he said, ladies and gentlemen. He spoke like a man who's clueless of the system we run in Ghana when it comes to road contract. We live in a country where both the two dominant political parties have financiers whose monies are used in campaigns for power. These are people behind the scenes who pump in the money in exchange for such contracts. We live in a country where party faithfuls are promised of contracts for their relentless support, ladies and gentlemen. Contracts that come with many strings attached. I'm talking about contracts that supposedly have a minister's cut, CEO's cut, and party head's cut, and sometimes even the MMDCE's cut. So before the contractor gets on site to commence work, a huge chunk of the contract fee is gone to private pockets. Is this the solution he's proposing, ladies and gentlemen? This type of solution is referred to as cosmetic media rhetoric meant for gullible people. Mr. Abuja, if you really mean business with what you are saying and not just saying something to get the applause of party foot soldiers, this approach won't work. And I'll be blunt with you. I can promise you in 2 years from now, the road contracts you would have given out this year will develop problems. Honorable Abuja, what Ghana needs is a state construction company purposely set up to construct all government roads, schools, and hospitals. This is the solution. We don't need to give any kind of contract to any contractors for any reason, unless, of course, you want to continue with the same old procedure for party financiers and faithfuls to get their investments back. If that's not the case, ladies and gentlemen, I don't see how your statement will hold up over time. If it's truly about Ghana's roads you want to build at a high standard, this approach is doomed from the get-go. The state must be in charge of constructing its own roads, Mr. Agboja. Why aren't you interested in bringing together civil engineers, construction engineers, surveyors, technicians, and artisans to build the quality of roads the state actually needs? Don't you know it is said, if you want it done right, you do it yourself? You must be the one in charge of the quality and value for money at all times in order for it to work. But I think I know why you and all previous government appointees in your position don't consider this option, and I hope I'm wrong. Please listen to this. This is my belief. I believe the reason is in two forms. Number one, appointees in your position don't want to be held accountable for when shoddy work is done if the state has to be in charge of constructing its own roads. I think this is what is happening, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's what appointees in your position try to avoid. You don't want to be directly involved in providing the standard you expect from contractors because it's easier to point hands than to take that responsibility. And this is to those party people in the comment section who think I'm wrong on this one. Listen to this. If these state ministers and appointees aren't running away from it, why don't they embrace it, ladies and gentlemen? It appears these guys are not in to work, as in work in the fields, like the president of Burkina Faso and the team is doing. They want to work from the comfort of their air-conditioned offices. Tell me this is inaccurate, ladies and gentlemen. That's my first reason. Secondly, this is the easiest and safest way of overpricing contracts. Point blank, period. It's so easy to throw around figures for a project in the country, especially for a project that is desperately needed by the people, and overprice them. It's so easy. This has been politicians' go-to approach of stealing from the state without fear. The moment contracts are given out, everybody gets to eat without any fear of auditing. Therefore, I'm watching this video of the minister and just shaking my head in despair, knowing exactly how it's going to play out. Nothing different will happen. Same bad roads will be constructed, and we'll be back here complaining after a few years. Ladies and gentlemen, it's simple. Road contracts are not given to the people who mostly qualify. No, that is not the practice. It is not given to those with the right equipment and technical team. No, it is given to those that are known by the political party. So how then do you prosecute your own cronies when key people in the party may have benefited from the money? Think about this, ladies and gentlemen. These tough words from the minister don't really mean anything, ladies and gentlemen. Don't think with this same system in place, anything new can happen. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't wish bad for this country, nor for the government. I wish good for this country. I just know based on past evidence that this will be another wasted opportunity. So, Honorable Kwame Agboja, if you would consider my suggestion for a state construction company, it will take us about 5 years to perfect the process of building the quality of roads that we need. But afterwards, Ghana Construction Company will be building roads not just for Ghana, but for other African countries. This is how China has been successful. And guess what? They got this concept from our own Kwame Nkrumah of old. I hope this video finds you and finds you well. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for taking time to watch this video. I'll come again with another one very soon. Be sure to subscribe and click on the bell for more. It is bye-bye for now.